Hi guys, welcome back to another tutorial. In this tutorial we are going to create a list which will be fetched from the internet. Our app will look like this. This is our app. This is a list of users which we are fetching from the internet. So without any further delay, let's get started. This is a base project. I have created a new project which contains a status widget. So now we will add a home. We need to create another class for home, which will be a stateful widget of user list. We can call it here. Okay. Now we need to add some packages here, which will be models and services. Services will contain a class HTTP service. Okay, so as we want to fetch list of user from the internet, we need some dependencies. So we need to go to the pubspec.yml, and here we will add HTTP and the version will be 0.13.3. After this, click on the pub-get button so it will install this dependency. Let us go to the browser, and here we will type Json placeholder.typecode.com. This is basically a server which provides us the mock responses. It is very useful for practice and for test projects. As you can see here, we have some dummy response of post, some response of comments, albums, and much more. We are going to use user response. This is our response which will be fetched when we attempt a network call. So we need to create a model for our user response. We'll copy it from here and we'll go to Json to Dart. This is a website which converts your JSON code into Dart model class or data class. We just paste the response here and we need to give it some name. We will name it user and we'll click on the generate Dart button. So it has generated the class automatically. We just need to copy it. Now we'll go to our model class and create a file user and paste our code here. Everything is generated automatically. Now we need to create a service for fetching the user from the internet. Okay, here we first need to declare the base URL. Base URL is basically a URL which directs us to our server. In our case it will be this is our base URL and this is the endpoint. Means we can understand it like this. This is the building and this is the apartment. So it is a complete address of that function or list. We are using user, so this will be our endpoint. We will paste it here. After that we will create a function which will be future. As we are fetching list of user, we will add a dynamic type and function name will be get users. You can give any name as you want, but it is good to give it a proper name so that when you use this code next time you will understand it what is going on. Okay, so as we are using future is basically the return type of this function. Now what is future? Future is basically what future is explaining is itself. Future will return the response or result in future, so that's why we call it future, and it works and it should work asynchronously. So we will use it as async because it should run parallel. Now we will define our endpoint here, which will be base URL, and with base URL we will add users. So this is the building and this is the apartment or flat where we have to go. Okay, now we will create a HTTP request which will contain the URL. Now we need a response from the URL. Okay, we forgot something. We also need to create a an instance of HTTP which will be used to fetch the response. Also we need to add we'll see it in a bit what is a convert. Okay, so now we will use await http dot get will be our URI, and that's it. This line will get us our response from the server. Now we will check it if response dot status code equals 200, if the response status code is 200, it means that our response is fetched correctly. So we will do our next operation here. So basically Json Decode is a function of a convert class. Basically convert class contains the Json Decode function which parses our response. So it is used for passing our response. Now we need to return our list. As you can see, it is giving us an error because it only works if the response is 200. But what if the result is not 200? Then we need to return an empty list. It is better to put this code inside a try catch so that our app won't crash. We can press Ctrl Alt T and press 6, then it will put our code inside try catch. Here we all need to return an empty list. Okay, so our function for fetching user is done. Now we need to create a UI for displaying the list of users. We will go into our main class, and here we will create our function. We first need to add scaffold. Scaffold will contain an app bar. App bar will have a title. Title would be user list. Now body will have future builder. Future builder contains some methods. We will declare a future here. Future will need a function or a variable which returns a future. So in our case we have created a class get users. Okay, this future builder will fetch the response and will return it in the form of a snapshot. So here first we will check if snapshot dot connection state equals connection state dot waiting. It means it is fetching result. So we will display a circular progress bar here in the center. Circular progress indicator. if it is done waiting, it will go to the next line and it will contain a list of dynamic, because here we don't know the type of the response. It will be the user list equals snapshot.data as list of dynamic. So we will get our user list fetched from the internet here, but we need to show it in some list. So we will create a list view. For that we will use list view.builder. List view.builder will need a item count, which will be user list.length. It is important to tell it the actual length of the list. Now item builder will return a view. We will use a card here. We will give it some elevation. We will also need it some margin, 8 from all sides. And the last, a child. In child we can do two things. Either we can create a custom view, or we can use a list style which is used for displaying items. List style contains some built-in views for displaying simple data. As we are fetching a simple user list, we can use list style here. List style will have a title. Title will contain a text. Okay, we need to declare our response class here, which is user equals user list, user dot from JSON. It will convert the response into our model class so that we can easily access the response here. It needs an index, so with the help of this user we can access the user properties, which is the name and the email, etc. This is the name, so we will add user dot name here, and it is saying it is not null because we have declared it as nullable. Okay, so let us also declare a style for this. We will go here and declare a text style for our text. It will have some font size, default 16, and color will be black, and font weight would be .w600. Okay, so here we can use our style. Okay, we can copy it. Now we will add subtitle and also a trailing. in subtitle we will display our email, and here we will display in trailing phone. Text style should be different for every field. So for the subtitle we will override some text style properties. Dot copy with is used for overwriting the existing properties of the text style. So we can change font size. Font size would be 14 for it, and the color would be gray. And for phone number we will leave it as it is. We'll change it later if we need. Okay, so I think our project is ready now. We just need to run it to see it working. Let's test it. As you can see, our app has ran and it has fetched a response as we want. So that's all for now. As you can see, the result has been fetched from the internet, and it is a dynamic response. So if we had more data in the list, we would have more child here. So thank you for watching. If you are a new viewer, please do subscribe to my channel and like and share my videos. And if you have already subscribed, please share my video. We'll see you next time. Thank you.